I wish what I was about to tell y'all right now was something that just was not even true, was not going on, but hey, it is. So the Hit the Wall fraternity members are doing something, fellas, that I just thought didn't even exist. But there's a term called sologamy. It says a growing trend that's defined by people who choose to tie the knot with themselves instead of a partner. It said many of the midlife women of today, those who hit the wall, many of them are renting out venues, purchasing wedding attire, and planning ceremonies in which they stand before friends and family members to dedicate their lives to themselves. A commitment to themselves, but not, they say, necessarily to singledom or celibacy. Yes, they can't even commit to themselves. They cheat on themselves. They're out here getting their back blown out somewhere, but they are marrying themselves. They can get their back blown out, but they can't get a wedding ring from a man. All you can get is a hard D and some liquor. By vowing and say to love themselves until death does them part, they simply want to affirm their strength while recognizing the women they've become. They say an opportunity to officially recognize a feeling of personal growth. So marrying yourself is personal growth. I thought that maybe personal growth could be, I don't know, you progressing your business, progressing your career. Maybe personal growth could be, you getting, taking care of your health, getting rid of some bad habits that you suffered, for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they said they didn't talk about anything binding or legal. They said, but an expression of self-love and a way to enhance self-compassion and appreciate, they say, themselves, they say, in the best way possible. They say basically a self-marriage ceremony they claim is advantageous if you wish to engage in a deep introspection, live in alignment with your values, honor yourself, and commit to self-love in order to reap gains in your romantic life and beyond, is what they're saying. This is the most saddest crap ever. Men, if men buy themselves, they just buy themselves. You don't see no man talking, I'm going to rent a venue. I told you many times before, it's about the freaking ceremony. That's all they want is a ceremony. They don't want a family. They just want a ceremony. They want the fanfare. They want to wear a dress. So they're saying, if I can't get a man to do it because whatever the case may be, because they just don't qualify, so now they're doing it themselves. Now they says that ultimately they said they're their own best companions. They say that marrying without a partner is not legally recognized. They say, but it's also not new. They say the first publicized solo marriage was an American woman named Linda Baker in 1993. Say her one-person wedding had 7 bridesmaids, 75 guests, and no groom. Why would somebody show up to that? Why? Why are you encouraging her to do that to herself? Y'all are not right. It said, as Barker said at the time, it's about doing things for yourself and not waiting around for someone else to make it happen. He said, since then, a number of women have staged their own weddings. Say women, as they can decide to marry themselves for a lot of reasons. Because they can't get a man, because they can't qualify. Something wrong with them. That's why. It says Sasha Kagan is a life coach and author of Quirky Alone, is a manifesto for uncompromising romantics. It's a landmark book putting a new twist on being discerning single. They got attention everywhere from the New York Times to CNN. Decides to get married to herself as a commitment to self-love. She said, I got married to myself a month before turning 40. Okay. I understand. She said, I wanted to do something symbolic and big for myself on such an important birthday. He said, since I was single and hadn't been married to a man, I felt marrying myself is something fun, deep, and meaningful that I can do to recognize my arrival to adulthood. Then in 2015, I do remember this one, Yasmin Ellaby married herself at the Houston Museum of African American Culture just 2 days after bringing in the new year. She was 40 years old and said who made a vow to throw herself a wedding if she was not hitched by that age. She said, I decided I didn't want to be a joke. I wanted to have a celebration of myself. My wedding was going to be a commitment about loving myself. They said on the same page, Laura Messi from Italy, who married herself at the age of 40. Do you just keep seeing these age ranges? This is happening, fellas. They're not doing this at 20. You notice that? They're not even doing this at 30. All right. So at 40, putting a white dress on, a veil to walk down the aisle. She only met the officiant at the end of it with her 70 guests as her witnesses. Messi was there to marry herself. He said there was a 3-tiered cake and dancing and a subsequent solo honeymoon to... Oh, God. Y'all doing solo honeymoons now? Solo honey. How do you do that? It's what? Is your solo honeymoons with the rose? Or you're taking the rose on your honeymoon? Is that what it is? My Lord. She took a solo honeymoon to Egypt. He said you can have a fairy tale even without the prince. Ugh. Oh, wow. So yes, fellas, they are practicing sologamy. See, men aren't silly like that. See, men will say, you know what? I'm not going to marry myself. I mean, do you see how horrible that is? Men are saying, let me get my passport and go find me a wife somewhere else instead of doing that crap. I mean, men will clown you from one end to another. Could you imagine a man planning a wedding ceremony? He's getting in a tuxedo. He's doing all this stuff to marry himself. Could you imagine him going back to the job on Monday? Could you imagine that? And he said he had a wedding ceremony. I said, oh, okay, who's your wife? Well, no, I married myself. Boy, he will be clowned for the rest of the year because men wouldn't even allow that. You know, just the way men are in general. But hey, that's what they feel they need to do. That's their life choices. Nobody can say nothing about it. I'm just reporting on the news here with what's going on with these modern women in America. That's all. So they're marrying themselves and going on solo honeymoons. All right. Gotcha. Fellas, I know y'all smarter than that. Y'all not going to go out like that. And the thing is about men, we don't have a time. You know, men can just do whatever they want to do. As long as your paper's right as men, your paper right, take care of your health and all that, man, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. But so I can understand when women like that even get mad at some of y'all that's traveling. I get it. Oh, I get it. Because when they got to marry themselves, you know it's horrible. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it seems like it's that bad, really bad for them. And y'all brothers just keep doing your thing.